For my project, I decided to use spoken poetry. As an art form, it allows you to emphasize form over content. How you say it is just as, if not more important, than what you say. And that's one of the big points of modern art. Also, as an art form, it allows you to take simple things and rewrite them with an artistic flair. It allows you to take simple things and make them beautiful. The first poem is entitled That. And it really emphasizes the fact that even though sometimes words weren't spoken on the battlefield, there's a sense of urgency, a sense of importance in what is done. And that's where the exclamation point comes into play. I hope you guys enjoy the first one. Actions speak louder than words, especially when you use guns to get your point across, but even then you're at a loss, because to the devil, your life is tossed. You stay in your trenches, but they break through your defenses, and any cries for mercy, any pleas for grace, are met with bullets yelling no, no, no. Your voice has been silenced by the music of violence, and your words fall on deaf ears because they can't see your tears, and words fail to communicate your most precious and intimate emotions. You stay in your trenches, feeling the heavy tensions between brothers from different mothers, separated by their national colors. It's red, black, and white with a little bit of green, fighting against red, white, and blue, yellow, black, and green. But their colors are no more than orders, telling their pride to fight, with each color believing their side is right. Different perceptions pave the way for violent deceptions, and with soldiers making decisions with their trigger fingers instead of their minds, it's a dangerous enterprise. You're down in your trenches, smoking to get higher. You get higher than your past, but are too low for your future, so you stay in the present with a stiff, you're nearly broken composure. The claps of the gunshots and the stenches the bodies rot bring attention to the pain that you bring without a second thought. And in the midst of this war, you find a sense of remorse, only to turn back to that violent course, because boys will be boys, but they'll never be men, unless they realize that they're called not to fight, but defend. The second piece is entitled Right, Wrong. It's about how even when you believe with everything that you are that you're right, it doesn't mean that you're right. And even when you believe with everything that you are that the other person is wrong, it doesn't mean that they're wrong. Right, wrong. You're right, and they're right. So you're wrong, and they're wrong. You argue with bullets and yell with bombs. You convince with knives and confuse with gas. Your support is in metal, and your prize is in death. You've let yourself go, and you're never coming back. What is the price of being right when you're wrong? You've been lied to for so long that you've started to believe in what's false, discarding the truth. But that doesn't matter because your heart believes you're right, but so do theirs. Now tell me whose heart has seen the light. This is an argument with no victor, a problem with no correct answer, and a battle waged in the heart of each soldier before a single bullet is fired. Yet, still nobody wins. Each day in the trenches presents its own unique truths, and each soldier decides which to pick and to choose. How do you know if you pick the right one? You're right, so long as you're backed by your gun. But too many were right, causing too many to be wrong, and we're left with the loss of a generation. This third piece is entitled Tears. It represents all the times in the trenches when words weren't good enough for the soldiers. It represents the cases such as when Gerard Duval's eyes spoke volumes more. It spoke so much louder than his voice. And sometimes words left unspoken really are more powerful than those you speak. Tears continue to fall because soldiers are no longer able to find words powerful enough to release their emotions. And they yell, "Fuck that, you piece of shit! I no longer give a fuck about all this shh. Don't speak unless you're spoken to. And even then, hold your breath. Because words chosen carelessly can lead you to your death. Be quiet, don't speak, just turn the other cheek so you can live to see another day. Tell yourself not to cry, because each tear is an obstacle that blinds your eyes. But even as you command your tears to stop, they will continue to flow with blatant disregard to your authority, and they will carry with them a portion of your sanity, dripping into a pool of your own insanity that is filled with thoughts of their harsh animosity that stem from a feeling of pure curiosity of what was right and what was not. And they will realize that all they thought was wrong. So they recall their lives from before the war. They were men, both rich and poor, but they left that behind to seek something more. Realizing their mistake and leaving the past, they realized the war was really a bast. Are the lives of soldiers worth the price that the leaders decided to pay to be right? Or should they have known that it was wrong to fight? Regardless, tears continue to fall as soldiers realize that they risked it all and lost. And in the middle of the night, as you're frozen in frost, you will recount everything that this violent war cost. And this final piece is entitled Memories and Dreams. It represents everything that the soldiers had to give up so that they could fight for what they thought was right. It represents everything that they had to let go of in order to be a part of this war. Memories and dreams. Memories remind you of unfulfilled fantasies that you abandoned when you went to fight overseas. They remind you of promises that were never kept, and that feeling of guilt is hard to accept. You chose the embrace of your guns over the embrace of your loved ones, so you try to remember what it was like to hold them. But daydreaming means death when you're on the front lines of war, and that feeling of longing still strikes at your core. You can't afford to think past the moment, or you run the risk of eternal torment. Thoughts of the past are fleeting at best because you're distracted by that pain in your chest. And thoughts of the future are dreams unfulfilled because dreams can't come true after you're killed. You are charged with the task to stay fully present in the present. But the only present it gives you is the pain you resent. So memories are forgotten, and dreams are just lost in your current desire to avoid the heavy fire and your preoccupation to live through starvation. You've already lost your past, and you have no guarantee for your future. So stay focused on the present, or maybe you'll lose her, too. Memories and dreams. Memories and dreams. They mean nothing to you now, so do not allow them to pollinate your thoughts. Just focus on the shots that you have to make and lives you have to take in order to keep yours. Past and future are irrelevant to your survival, so do not allow these thoughts a revival of life, only to be killed again. These four pieces, when put together, represent what it means, what it meant to be a soldier on the battlefield during World War I. And it's so easy to get caught up in the moment. It's so easy to get caught up in the problems that don't matter in our lives. And it's so easy to forget about this war. It's easy to forget about all the tears that were shed because words were never good enough. And it's so easy to forget about all the memories and dreams that the soldiers had to sacrifice so that we could keep ours. And it's so easy to forget who was right and who was wrong. And it's easy to forget all the lines that were left unspoken because soldiers were robbed of their voices. It's so easy to forget this war. But if we did, we would violate everything that those soldiers fought for.